In discussions about obesity, the focus overwhelmingly falls on what and how much we eat, but the question of when we eat often gets overlooked, despite growing evidence that food timing has profound effects on metabolic health. Late night eating, in particular, has emerged as a significant risk factor for weight gain and metabolic dysfunction, even in people who don't consume excessive calories overall. This isn't merely a cultural habit or convenience issue. It's a biological misalignment that disrupts circadian rhythms and hormone regulation, leading to greater fat storage, poor blood sugar control, and increased risk of obesity. The body operates on a roughly 24-hour internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, which regulates everything from sleep to hormone production to digestion. Our metabolic processes are not static throughout the day, they fluctuate depending on the time, with a clear preference for nutrient intake during daylight hours. Insulin sensitivity, for example, is highest in the morning and decreases progressively throughout the day. This means that calories consumed in the evening, especially those close to bedtime, are more likely to be stored as fat rather than burned efficiently. Late-night eating disrupts this natural rhythm. When we eat during hours the body expects to be at rest, we interfere with the normal cycling of hormones like insulin, melatonin, leptin, and ghrelin. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, begins rising in the evening and can impair insulin function if food is consumed late, leading to higher blood sugar and insulin levels. Meanwhile, leptin, which signals fullness, may not function properly at night, while ghrelin, the hunger hormone, can rise abnormally, especially after poor sleep. This creates a hormonal landscape that encourages overeating, disrupts energy balance, and favors fat accumulation, particularly visceral fat around the abdomen. Even when total daily calorie intake remains constant, studies have shown that individuals who consume a larger proportion of their calories late in the day tend to gain more weight and have more difficulty losing it. In randomized trials, people eating identical diets but consuming their main meal earlier in the day lost more weight and experienced better insulin sensitivity compared to those who ate the same meal later. The difference is not in the quantity of food, but in the timing relative to the body's metabolic readiness. Late eating also tends to correlate with poor sleep, emotional distress, and lower diet quality. People who snack at night are more likely to consume calorie-dense, ultra-processed foods, often driven by habit, stress, or boredom rather than true hunger. Moreover, eating close to bedtime can impair sleep quality, which then feeds back into metabolic dysfunction the next day, raising cortisol, disrupting appetite hormones, and lowering willpower for healthy food choices. This creates a cyclical trap. Poor sleep leads to late-night hunger, and late-night eating leads to worse sleep and fat gain, independent of diet quality. In our 24/7 culture, food is always available, and social schedules often push dinner times later and later. Many people skip breakfast, eat lightly during the day due to work demands, and then overcompensate in the evening. This pattern, while common, runs counter to how our bodies are designed to metabolize food. Eating more of our daily intake in the first half of the day, when we are more insulin sensitive and physically active, leads to more stable blood sugar, better energy levels, and improved weight management over time. There's also evidence that time-restricted eating, or aligning eating windows with daylight hours, such as consuming all meals within an 8 to 10-hour period during the day, may improve metabolic markers and aid in weight control. Importantly, these benefits are seen even without reducing calorie intake, highlighting the independent power of food timing as a metabolic lever. For individuals struggling with weight despite eating what seems like a reasonable amount of food, examining when they eat may reveal hidden barriers to progress. Shifting calorie intake earlier in the day, avoiding food within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime, and maintaining a consistent eating schedule that aligns with circadian biology can help restore metabolic harmony. This doesn't mean that late-night eating is inherently bad in every case, but it does mean that regular nighttime eating, especially in a modern environment of artificial light and screen time, can subtly yet powerfully undermine health goals. This all points to a broader truth. Obesity is not just about how much food we eat. It's also about when we eat, how our body processes that food depending on the hour, and whether our daily routines support or disrupt our internal rhythms. Addressing food timing offers a powerful, underused tool for improving weight outcomes and metabolic resilience, one that doesn't rely solely on restriction or willpower, but on realigning with the natural intelligence of our biology.